The upcoming U.S. presidential election is being closely watched by world leaders who have often turned to President Trump for favors, friendships, and even rivalry. Now, a change to the White House could lead to a major global power shift. Let's take a look at the foreign policies of the populist leader of the world's only superpower and how this election will affect world politics.
Foreign policy was never the major theme of Trump's 2016 campaign, but it is where the president has witnessed the most successes. It starts with his uncanny relationships with world leaders, from Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi to North Korea's supreme leader Kim Jong-un. Donald Trump's key motto to great diplomacy seems to be personal friendship, leading to a favorable deal. Because for the former businessman, even foreign policy is about the art of the deal. Trump has always denigrated all the policies and decisions that came before him and has proclaimed the uniqueness of his international vision and achievements. The Howdy Modi and Namaste Trump events were a pointer to the budding friendship of the two leaders. But both the events saw no significant deal or engagements. Apart from showcasing personal friendships, India and the United States must encompass economic engagement, environment, and healthcare challenges and democratic values. But for other major parts of the world, Trump's decisions and his administration has had some historic moments. Donald Trump became the first sitting president to cross the border into North Korea. And how can we forget those deeply personal letters that the duo had exchanged?
When I did it, and I was really being tough, and so was he, and we would go back and forth, and then we fell in love, okay? No, really. He wrote me beautiful letters, and they're great letters. We fell in love. But you know what? Now they'll say, Donald Trump said they fell in love. How horrible. How horrible is that? So unpresidential.
But not all world leaders ended up being his BFFs, and that led to some serious high school drama.
Well, he's two-faced.
Do you think that Germany is too naive?
And honestly, with Trudeau, he's a nice guy. I find him to be a very nice guy. But, you know, the truth is that I called him out on the fact that he's not paying 2%. And I guess he's not very happy about it. I mean, you were there, a couple of you were there, and he's not paying 2%, and he should be paying 2%. It's Canada, they have money, and they should be paying 2%. So I called him out on that, and I'm sure he wasn't happy about it, but that's the way it is. Look, I'm representing the U.S.
But drama and personal camaraderie aside, some of his policies even took his harshest critics by surprise. Some of Trump's first actions in the White House showed that he was not going to conduct diplomacy the old-school way. It began with airstrikes in Syria over a deadly chemical attack. Then the US pulled out of the Iran nuclear deal, a move touted as a major shift in US foreign policy. Then came the killing of two major leaders, ISIS chief Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi and Iranian General Qasem Soleimani.
Tonight,
when Obama announced the death of al-Qaeda leader Osama bin Laden in 2012, it was all he needed to secure 4 more years in the Oval Office.
Al-Qaeda, and a terrorist who's responsible for the murder of thousands.
While Trump continues to brag about his conquests, it remains to be seen if the killing of these two leaders achieved the same for him. But that is not all the president has in his bag. His historic West Asia deal just 50 days ahead of the election could be a major winning factor for Trump. With 4 Arab states now recognizing Israel, Trump's West Asia policy has been one of the most significant in the region in many years.
This is peace in the Middle East without blood all over the sand. I say it. Right now, it's been blood all over the sand for decades and decades and decades. That's all they do is they fight and kill people, and nobody gets anything.
Another significant policy focusing on this region includes the Afghan-Taliban peace deal. While protracted negotiations and much going back and forth, the peace talks continue to remain on track for now. While the peace talks remain in focus, the withdrawal of troops is something Trump will not stop talking about. The US president has long mentioned that involvement in West Asia was the country's biggest mistake, and some of his actions continue to highlight that. But Trump's drive to pull US forces out from war zones, especially Afghanistan, has been often compounded with problems. A shaky peace process and the fear of the Taliban resurgence makes the move especially dangerous for the region. But this is not the only region Trump is focusing on. Amid a raging trade war with China and growing animosity between the superpowers, the Pacific region could very well turn into the next battleground, and Trump is trying to garner support ahead of that happening. From moving away from the country's long recognition of the One China policy and backing Taiwan's democratic freedom, Trump has launched a full-blown diplomatic attack against the dragon.
Chinese virus.
Sanctions over the crackdown in Hong Kong, Uyghur human rights abuses, and even Tibet. The president has managed to take China head-on.
One that has never been taken before with China. Could not be better. I would say the highest, the best that it's ever been between China and the United States. Between the United States and China. It comes from China. The virus situation is just not acceptable.
US election desk, WION World is one.
Related to them trying to undermine your re-election.